Hey, what's going on, everybody? How you doing? Matt Antonelli here with Antonelli Softball. Today we're talking about a very quick and easy tip to improve your bat path as a hitter. If you haven't seen our other videos on bat path, make sure you go back and check those out. We go really in depth on what's the proper bat path and why that is. So make sure to check that out if you haven't seen it already. So today, let's talk about that quick, easy tip. This is Sierra Romero right here. We're just going to watch her swing. If you guys don't know who Sierra is, check her out online. She's played at Michigan, had an unbelievable college career, maybe one of the best college careers ever as a softball hitter and defender. And we're going to look at her swing. First, let's kind of check out her bat path. And we talked about it before in our other videos, but when I watch all the top players, the top collegiate players, professional players, what you're going to see for them is a bat path that works slightly up through the hitting zone. Okay, and like I said, I'm not going to go in super in depth here why. We've made a ton of other videos on that. Go check those out. But let's talk about an easy tip to improve your bat path, how to get your bat to work slightly up through the zone instead of down through the zone, which I see a lot of younger players doing. And it all has to do with the posture of your body and your spine angle. So what you'll see with most elite hitters is that they're going to have their spine is going to be over the plate, okay? So it's going to be somewhere, if we were looking at this from the pitcher's point of view, they're going to be somewhere between 30, right around 30, 35 degrees over the plate. Sometimes you'll see even a little bit more, 40 degrees. With most youth players, you see a much more vertical spine angle. And that's one of the issues. If you don't get into good posture, then it's going to affect the way you turn, and your turn is going to affect the way your bat comes through the zone. Okay? And so it's really, really important to get over the plate a little bit with your upper body. So what we tell our hitters is our posture is we want to be butt out and then chest over. Okay? And this position is the same position you'll see in really any sport. If you're going to be a defender in basketball, you're going to be chest over, butt out. If you're going to be a defender in softball, you're going to be chest over, butt out. You can look at football. You can look at hockey. You can look at any sport. An athletic position is butt out, chest over, okay? So it shouldn't be a tough position for a hitter to get into. But for some reason in softball, hitters want to be vertical. They want to stand straight up and down, okay? So just make sure that they're over the plate, butt out, chest over. You know, we tell them that it's like somebody's kind of grabbing the back of your belt right here and just kind of tugging you up and out, and it's going to put your chest over and put your butt out, okay? So that's the first thing, is to get into that position. You don't have to start in that position. A lot of players will start a little bit more vertical, and then as they get ready to move and load and then stride, you're going to see them slowly get their chest over the plate and slowly get their butt out, okay? But it's important to get in that position when your foot lands and you're about to turn. So that's the first tip, is to get into that postural position. The second tip is to stay there while you rotate. So some players either don't get there at all, and then others will get there, and then as they rotate, they start to come back up, right? So they start to straighten out. And this is the move a lot of times when you see a hitter turn the hip and it looks like they're pulling off the ball. It's because they come out of posture, their head comes up here, and most coaches will go, hey, keep your head on the ball. Hey, you're pulling your shoulder off. Hey, you're pulling your head off the ball. And it really looks like they are, because they come out of posture and they get really vertical again. So then they go from this blue line and they straighten up to the red line as they're swinging. And it is pulling them off the ball. They're not staying on the ball or over the plate like I like to tell our hitters. Okay? So again, you get in that posture and then you turn. And if you just watch her head, a lot of coaches, again, will say it's really important to keep your head still. Right? Well, the only way to keep your head still is if you turn and stay in that same posture and don't come up out of it. Okay? So really, really important. Get in good posture. Stay in good posture as you turn. Now, what that's going to do, when you get in this posture and then you turn and stay in good posture, let me kind of put that line down again. So when you turn and stay in good posture, you can see her spine is still at that angle right there, right? What happens is your right shoulder or your rear shoulder, for a lefty it's going to be their left shoulder, is going to work underneath their front shoulder. So when they make contact, they're going to be like that. The rear shoulder will be under the front shoulder. Now this is one of those misconceptions, because a lot of times when hitters swing like this and they foul the ball off or they pop it up, they start getting yelled at, keep your shoulder up, don't drop your back shoulder. But in order to get the bat to work on path, you need to let this rear shoulder work under the lead shoulder. It has to happen. If you try to turn from here and let this shoulder come up and not be under the lead shoulder, guess what happens? The only way to do it is to come out of posture. Okay? So you need to allow the shoulder to work under the right shoulder, the rear shoulder. Okay? And the shoulder will work under differently depending on the height of the pitch. So, and the location of the pitch. So the higher the pitch, the flatter the swing plane, the more the right shoulder works even. The lower the pitch, or the more outside the pitch, the more the right shoulder works under the lead shoulder. Okay? So really, really important to keep in mind. I think that's one of the reasons why hitters stay vertical and don't get into good posture, because so many coaches yell, keep your shoulder up, keep your shoulder up, keep your shoulder up. So the way they do it is they never get into good posture. That's one of the reasons why there's so many downhill swings, especially at youth levels, is because of this misconception of we don't want to get, if we let the shoulder work under, then we're going to get under the ball and we're going to pop everything up. Okay? And again, watch our other videos and we talk about why, for me, there's actually more high, weak pop-ups because of a downhill path. All right? We won't get into that right now, but go watch our other videos. All right? So a couple things to think about again, and let me describe them in a little bit different way for you real fast. The bat path, your path of your swing is typically going to be perpendicular to your spine angle in most cases, okay? So if you think again, there's the spine angle, that's a perpendicular line. The bat's going to come through the hitting zone pretty much perpendicular to that line. So there it is right there, all right? And that's good. Once it gets there, then it's going to work slightly up through the ball. Okay? So it's going to work perpendicular to that spine angle, but also it's typically going to work parallel to the shoulder line. All right? So if I allow my right shoulder, my rear shoulder, to work slightly under my left, to work under, then I'm going to allow my bat to come through the zone slightly up. Okay, I'm going to be behind the ball. I'm going to impact the ball squarely. All right. When this shoulder works up and you don't allow it to work under, well, then you're going to have more of a downhill swing plane. Okay, because once these shoulders are level, the most you can swing up is pretty much zero. But what happens is the ball's way down here and you're way up here, and you end up pushing the bat down through the ball. You become very armsy, disconnected, instead of turning the right way and getting the bat on path. Again, we put other videos up on that, so I'm not going to go super in depth right now, but go watch those other videos and it'll explain it. So hopefully that makes sense. That's a quick tip, an easy tip to start to improve your bat path. Obviously there's a little bit more than that, but that's one of the first things I work on with players is putting them in better posture. Most players I get are not in good posture. And then once we work on the posture, things start to happen a lot better. And then there's fine tuning, obviously, outside of that. Some players still do some other things incorrectly that you have to work on. But if you do this, you'll put them in a pretty good position. All right, that's the first thing. So let me know if you have any questions in the comment section below. Subscribe to the channel if you've not done so already. Give us a thumbs up. I'd really appreciate that. Share the video with all your friends. Also, check out the description box below. I've got a bunch of stuff down there for you guys to check out that I think you'll like. And that's all I got, guys. Thanks again for watching. I appreciate it. And we'll talk to you later.